Yeah. To my saints all around the world, all over the world, those suffering persecution. Yeah. It's my encouragement to you. Be encouraged. Listen. Jesus, I dedicate this to the believers under evil dictators in the nations where your peeps are hated, where they fellowship in secret places, study Bible smuggled by secret agents dodging legal cases. It's kinda deep to say this. I've been persuaded that it's in the persecuted church where you really see what faith is.
You hear about it, but you don't really think it's anything big, or it's the one or two instances, but it's absolutely terrible what goes on out here.
The reality has really hit me hard, that these are our brothers and sisters and this is our family, and they're in pain, they're suffering.
They're suffering just because of the fact they believe in Jesus Christ.
In Pakistan, Christians are second-class citizens and suffer discrimination under the legal system. They can easily be accused of blasphemy and are sometimes the victims of forced conversions.
We are going to be killed just.
This family went into hiding after leaving Islam to become Christians. Class are secretly helping to relocate them because their lives are under threat from Muslim extremists. This man's 18-year-old daughter was forced to convert to Islam. She was raped and then murdered. Class have taken on the case to prosecute her attackers. He receives ongoing threats of violence and harassment.
I have conducted a number of cases of the blasphemy, and in every case we have threats from the Muslim fanatics, from the religious groups.
Many Christians are illiterate due to a lack of education. They don't understand the legal system, and without legal advice may not fully understand the charges that are made against them. The majority of lawyers won't even represent them. Class provides free advice and representation for those who need it most.
So I got nowhere else to turn to.
We went to the sewing centre to meet with some of the girls who are staying there while their cases are being processed. A lot of the girls have had really bad experiences.
I have been raped by a Muslim guy, and when I file the case, he threats me, then I will kill you and your family. Therefore, I have to come at Apnagar for shelter to run my case. I'm here because I couldn't stay at my family because the Muslims of locality pressurized my family to make compromise with them, and they said because you are Christian and you can't go against the Muslims, and you have to compromise with them. It's very hard for a Christian girl or a woman to stay at Pakistan because they are not safe living among the Muslims because they can humiliate them whenever they want. Girls frightened, and they did not tell to their families about what happened with them.
It's really our responsibility to tell people back home what the reality is like over here for these girls and these women in Pakistan as Pakistani Christians.
When Rashid was 16, he was accused with 4 other people of blasphemy, which basically means disrespecting Allah or the Prophet Muhammad. We sat and listened as he told us that even though he was innocent, he was still too afraid to go back to his village because he knew he wouldn't get a fair trial. Blasphemy victims can face strong sentences and even a death penalty. When we met Rashid, he'd been in hiding and away from his family for 2 years.
He was very worried about his family and longing to see them all.
So he went home for a few days, and just after 2 days of being at home, I guess someone had seen him, one of the neighbours had seen him, and it was reported to the police and he was arrested.
And it was only a few days ago that, you know, we were laughing together and playing together, and then to suddenly be behind bars of just a few days later, that was really, really hard.
I don't think they will spare him. They will torture him severely. And I personally know that he didn't do this. He was innocent. He was just accused. He was implicated falsely into the case. Rashid, maybe he will stay he will be kept in the jail for more than 10 years, 15 years, nobody knows, because we have no idea. In fact, some people are, I'm really very concerned about his life, because there are some people killed into the prisons by Muslim management, jail management, and Muslim prisoners, fellow prisoners. His life is in great danger.
If we'd experienced an ounce of what they go through on a daily basis, we'd be falling apart. These people go through terrible circumstances and still they're praising the Lord, they're singing, they're dancing, and they've got so much faith. Their lives are just like they're worshipping God the whole time, even when they're going through the most horrible, horrible situations, they're still worshipping. So to see church over here, church wasn't just on a Sunday for these people. Church was their whole life. Church was what they were living every day when they chose God over circumstance.
They still joyful and they still worship the Lord in truth, without having anything.
You know, even in the midst of, you know, such difficult times, they really know how to just have fun and bless others. It's easy to have an emotional response to it and just, you know, sit down and cry your eyes out. But they need help, they need practical help, and they need support.
You know, we're all one body, and if one part of our body is suffering, then the rest of the body needs to aid it and go to its help.
I just have to really think about, sit down and work out, what can I do? What is the most I can do? Not even what is the least I can do. What is the most that I can possibly do, and do it.
What we want to do is raise awareness to get people to understand that Christian persecution is a reality in today's world, because if people don't know, then they can't do anything about it. We also want young people to be equipped to tell their friends and their churches. As Christians, we're all part of the same family, and we want you to realise you're part of something bigger. So we're looking for people who aren't afraid to stand up and be counted and say, I'm part of this family, and I'm not going to stay silent while this is happening to my brothers and sisters.
You know, just get in touch, get on the website and work out how can you get involved, how can you support this work. You know, pray for these people. You know, if you can't do anything else, really genuinely take time out to pray for these people.
Trust